Hello, my friend. In this video, we're discussing how to be decisive in ambiguous situations. The clip is from an interview we did with Mike Figliuolo, the author of One Piece of Paper, Lead Inside the Box, and The Elegant Pitch. This is Business Leadership Today. I'm your host, Matt Tenney.
Your team is looking at you during times of uncertainty and they're watching your reaction. And if you're taking action, even if it's not right action, it's best guess action. If you're taking action, they feel like, okay, we're making our way through this uncertainty. If you sit there frozen, there are plenty of dead, indecisive squirrels in the world, right? I mean, you've driven down the road, they hit the middle of the road. I don't know, should I go left? Should I go right? Left, right? And all of a sudden, that's it, game over. And that's how you are as a leader if you're not taking action. And what you've got to understand is what is really ambiguous and what can I control? And what ambiguity is going to resolve itself in the future? What ambiguity can I resolve today, or at least basically contingency plan for it and say, hey, there's a spectrum of outcomes here. And if that's the spectrum of outcomes, here's action I can take today. So you look at, the pandemic, right? I run a leadership training business, and our business model was fly people from all over the place, put them in a room together for extended periods of time, and everybody talk. Well, COVID hits, you're not doing that anymore, and your calendar gets real empty. So that's a huge time of uncertainty for my firm. And people are saying, what are we going to do? How do we handle this? All our clients just canceled all our engagements. And you sit there and say, okay, what can I control? I can't control COVID. I can't control how long it goes. I can't control my clients' actions and their responses to it. What can I control? Well, I can control what activities we do every single day now. And we're not doing training now. So what other activities would be valuable that no matter what the future holds, these will be valuable activities? And we immediately said, you know what? Building an e-learning platform is no regrets. If COVID continues, that'll be great. And we have a virtual capability. If COVID ends quickly, well, we have a new capability. So this is, let's act, right? There's tons of ambiguity out there, but here's an action we can take right now. And honestly, it's one of the best decisions that I've made in the 17 years running the firm, is just acting in that moment and taking decisive action.
Right. It's almost like, I think at the strategic level, if leaders can find some type of solution that's as evergreen as possible, that's always a great thing, right? It's something that's recession resistant, that's evergreen. And it's almost like this ambiguous, in many instances, terrible situation that we found ourselves in a global pandemic helped you find something that maybe out of comfort you hadn't noticed before. Is that right?
Well, I think it's, we knew it was there, it just wasn't a priority and we didn't have the time, but all of a sudden it becomes a lot more pressing than that. And, I look back on the decision, and at the time I knew it was right. No matter what, we're going to have a new asset. Is it going to be super valuable or not very valuable? I don't know that. I don't know how the future will play out, but I know I'm building an asset that we can build on in the future. And as a result of acting quickly, we were up in 2020. 2019 was a record year. 2020, we were up by 7%, and that's with Q2 being 0.
Right.
This year, we're going to be up 47%. 47, not 4.7, 47%.
Wow.
And it's because we built that capability last year when we had all that free time. And everything we're doing this year is built upon that thing back, right?
Well, one question I had as you were kind of first starting off there is, there's a fine line between acting impulsively, right, where there's not a whole lot of thought at all put into something, and being the squirrel that just can't make a decision. You just hem and haw, and then you're dead, right? So how do you kind of find that sweet spot where you've got enough preparation to feel confident in the decision you're making, but where you haven't missed an opportunity or lost your life because of taking too long?
Yeah, I think part of it is understanding the cost of inaction, right? Too many times we look at, here's the cost of me acting. And if I do this, there's an investment, I'm going to spend a bunch of money. I don't know what the return is, right? And we look at that, we stall and we say, I'm not ready to commit to that. It's like, okay, great. Hey, you're not ready to commit to that. What's the cost of doing nothing? right? So let's go back to this context of us building an e-learning platform. What's the cost of me building it? Well, it was a lot of hours. It was some money. It wasn't a huge financial investment, but it was a lot of hours for me and my team. And that was going to be time not spent selling, right? But there wasn't anything to sell at the time. So that was the cost, huge time investment. What's the cost of inaction? I won't have a business. If I can't deliver training virtually, I'm going back to corporate, right? And that's like the worst outcome I can possibly think of. So, if you think about the cost of inaction, all of a sudden it dimensionalizes the investment you're trying to make. And it makes it a much easier trade-off, right? I have a CEO I'm coaching right now, and he has an individual on his team who he needs to get rid of. He just does. But it's like, well, I'm not sure. And there's a cost of him firing him, right? But there's also a cost of not doing it. And it's his other 15 team members that are getting frustrated with this individual and frustrated with the CEO because they look and they say, this guy's not performing. Why aren't you firing him? I'm living up to the standard, but he's coasting, right? And when you dimensionalize it and say, here's the cost of acting, and it's going to be painful, and there's severance and hiring somebody new. But the cost of inaction is I might lose some of these high performers. All of a sudden, the decision gets really clear, and it puts it in balance.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. So, and it can appear ambiguous at first, but it doesn't look. What I'm hearing you say is it doesn't take a whole lot of analysis to just really think, well, is the cost of inaction clearly worse than the potential cost of acting? That can help speed up the decision, right?
The other thing to realize is there are very few decisions in life that are irrevocable, right? So I could have started down the path and said, you know what, we're really going to need an e-learning platform. Let's start building this thing, shooting a bunch of courses. And all of a sudden, COVID goes away. Right. And it lasts much shorter than I expected. And clients are like, hey, we want to do the in-person training. It's like, okay, I can make a different decision tomorrow. Stop shooting videos and go sell. Right. It's not irrevocable. And that's the flaw in a lot of our decision making too, is I can make another decision tomorrow. Right. And I can make another one tomorrow as this uncertainty resolves. Right now, granted, do I want to be right on the first shot? Yeah, but I'm not entirely committed to this.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and valuable. If you did, please take a second to hit that like button so the video can help other people too. And please be sure to subscribe and opt in for notifications so you don't miss any of our new videos. If you'd like to listen to the entire 30-minute conversation that this clip was taken from, please visit Business Leadership Today. The link is in the description below. Until next time, I wish you great success building a world-class organization that makes a positive impact in the lives of employees and in our world.